What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Thursday night, my favorite night of the week. We get to sit down and have a little heavy action. I know it's your Monday Night Football thing, but it gets me fired up. I see all kind of stuff happening. I see Dandy Don singing. I see Frank Gifford yelling. I see OJ running from the police. I see all kind of stuff. It's Monday Night Football, and I got the guys in house for a Thursday night version of the game. I am ready tonight. It's going to be a fun night. We got the boys here. Dave of Brandy and Dave. What's up, buddy? How are you?
My internet's being stupid.
Okay, well, you should sue your.
But I'm good.
Sue your provider.
Right. I think I'm okay.
I would sue your provider. Is what
I'm thinking about it.
It'll work.
I'm thinking
Carney!
about it. Hi, Pete.
Hello, David. Carney's in house. He's dressed up and ready to go. He is all lit up and game ready. What's up, buddy? How are you?
I am so excited to be back. I'm loving this football season. I'm loving this show. And anytime you ask me, I was so pissed. You asked me 1 week when I had a commitment, and I was bummed for the whole week. So I'm so happy to be back, that I'm finally free, and I get to hang out with you guys. Let's talk some football.
Well, and I appreciate it. And hats off to Joey D. Joey D was going to be on tonight, and I called him. You've got business going on next week on your channel live from the Christmas party down at Disney.
I will be live at Mickey's very Merry Christmas party, so I can't do the picks. So, Joey, thank you. And I'm so excited. I'm going to stand up all night. I'm just going to get the chair out of here.
You fired up. I love it. We got Sanudo's. You came dressed ready to go in full business attire to play. Sanudo came to be the new owner of the Redskins, Washington Commandos, whatever they're going to be. He's dressed for it. What's up, Justin? How are you, buddy?
Pete, I'm going through withdrawals. We missed a week. I don't know. I didn't know what to do with myself last week.
You know, it was tough for me, too, because I wanted to be here and do it, but I had baseball. I didn't want to miss out on that opportunity, and I just can't be two places in once, although some people think I can sometimes. It just never works out that way. But I'm glad you're here with us for the week back. And because the government pays me money to do so, I brought Gene back. Hello, Gene. Welcome in.
Well, you're welcome for those checks from the government. Hey, listen, I missed it last week, too. Sanudo's right, man. Yesterday it was weird last week not being on the show, not having a show last week. So I'm ready to get back into it. Can I say this though? One thing, I love the late Halloween costume. I believe Sanudo, are you going as former Ohio State head coach Jim Tressel with the sweater vest? I love it.
Yes. Yeah.
Listen, my Jets are on top of the league right now. Carney knows what I'm talking about. Hall of Famers galore.
There's freaking two of them now, Pete.
Yeah,
they finally come out of the woodwork after 50 years of being trash.
I needed two of them to deal with you. I had to double team. I knew Sanudo was going to help back you up on when I started yelling, "We are!" and then you were, screaming Penn State. So it's all good. Let's get into what we got going here. Before we get the first picks, I always do a reminder, everybody. Hey, do me a favor if you don't mind. I'm doing the game tonight, but I can't promote it because of being here. Here's the link. I just dropped it in the chat. Click that link. Give me that video a like. Let's get it up to 30 or 40 likes to help me out. Give me a chance to go against the big fellas tonight that are out there promoting it right now. The bye week is going on this week, guys. Just to highlight here, the Patriots, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Jets, Jets, are on a bye week this week. I think that's good for all the teams. Real quick, just give me a quick thought. I'll go down. I'll give you each once a team. Let's go, Sanudo. I'm not going to give Gene the Jets. I'm going to give you the Jets. Just your thoughts on the Jets so far this year.
You know, when at the beginning of the season, before the season, when we were doing our streams, I said they had one of the best drafts in the league, and their young guys are showing it this year. They're a formidable team.
They are a formidable team. Dave, talk to me about the Bengals. They're in our division, having a good year, but not as good as everybody thought.
Well, it would have been better if they actually didn't throw 4 picks against my craptastic Steelers to start off the year. Otherwise, they'd be in a much better position. I think that's one of the many stumbling blocks. But I mean, they're starting to roll. Defense looks solid. They've been helping out the Nomad Loungers in the fantasy league. So
yes, they have been.
For it.
That's a good thing there. With you and all of the Pittsburgh or the Pennsylvania players that you have from Penn State, which is true. Carney, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about my Ravens this year? How are they doing?
Honestly, the Ravens are like, it's so weird because they're going to be one of those teams. I feel like the Ravens, it's going to come down to the last 2 weeks of the season. Like, I don't know what's going on with them and their division too. Like, sometimes other teams in their division show up. Other times they don't. Sometimes the Ravens show up. Sometimes they don't. Your division is, I'd say, the most division where literally I think anyone can win it, and I cannot predict who will win. Like, most of the divisions, I kind of have my locks. The Ravens, that whole division I'm confused about.
Yes, Dave.
I can predict who's not going to.
Oh,
well, yeah, there's...
We're not gonna. We'll wait to talk about your Steelers when they come up. Those guys all have small hands. I can't. At least they have hands. What do you got over there on the Patriots, Gino? What are you thinking?
You know what? I know coming out of the bye, they're gonna have to look out for the Jets. We're gonna get a little bit of revenge. I listen. They're playing better than I thought they would. I don't know if Mac Jones is the answer at quarterback. He's definitely regressed this year. He might be the worst out of that bunch. I think when it really settles. When all the dust settles. But yeah, I don't think they can. I honestly don't think they're gonna have as good of a second half of the season. I think they're gonna hit like a wall. And I'm not saying that as a Jet fan against the Patriots. I didn't expect them to have a good year this year. They outplayed what I thought they would do the first half, and I think they'll come down to earth in the second.
That's well said. That's exactly the way I would have said it. I'm right with you. Good luck to all 4 of those teams getting some players healthy for this next week. Before I hit the
stage, we also just talk about, since they're not playing, how the Jets have lost our best tackle and maybe one of the best running backs in the league. And we still pulled off a win against the Bills last week. And I know there was injuries. But, I mean, like, can we just talk about that? Because we all know what's going to happen to the Jets. No. We're going to fall apart. So I just want to give them 25 seconds of fame that we pulled up a win against the Bills after losing maybe our best offensive line, one of them, and a running back that was having a season to remember, and we still won. Now, that's it. I feel better.
Can I just, are you sure that you weren't a Patriots fan? You just put on the gear over top? Because all the Patriots fans are always talking throughout the years. I don't know what's going on with you. I'll give the Jets their props. I picked them to be 3rd in that division. They may actually be 2nd. They may actually take a run at 1st if Josh Allen struggles. Wouldn't that be something? Jets in the playoffs, there'd be a lot of people really happy. Let me remind everybody real quick, I'll be doing my pick of the week. That's Dirty Down Picks with Pete. DDP as it is. I'm 73% on that. 73% picking this year. That's coming up a little bit later. Let's talk about the. Let me fix that. I know we're off screen. We're going to talk about this real quick here, and I'll highlight and go through. This is through this week. Now, we didn't do the picks last week because of being off for sports. Let me tell you how this rolls out, everybody. This is so you know where everybody's at. This is this year's picks, okay? Now we're talking no preseason this year. Some people have picked more than others. You can see where everybody's at right now. You got some people that have trended high and trended low. The good thing is, good majority of our show, the guys on the panel, in a crazy year where things are happening, are picking 50% or more, and that's good stuff. Right now, top 3 are myself, Carlos Disney World Freak. Sanudo's been in the top 3 the entire year. Highlights to Dole Whip Dad. Highlights to Dole Whip Dad. He had the best week of everybody last week we did it, which would have been week 8. Week 8. Dole Whip Dad went 12 out of 14 picks that week, was red hot, followed by Sean and Kelly with that were 11 out of 14. So just real quick, guys, I'll go down the list here. Gene, start with you. Just your thoughts. Let's keep this quick so we can get to the picks. What are you thinking here when you're looking?
You know what? Everyone's doing really well, especially for this year. Like you nailed it on the head, man. This is one of those years where it's such parity in the league. It's hard really to predict a lot of these wins. A lot of teams are better than we thought, and a lot of teams aren't as good as we thought. A lot of those Super Bowl contenders are pretenders this year, and vice versa. So I think the numbers are pretty good. When you look at how the league has been this year. So
Absolutely. Dave, you took a week off, but you're still almost 50%. What are you thinking of the whole thing, how we're doing this year?
Yeah, it really sucks because I didn't mean to take a week off. I just forgot and then said, well, crap. And it was Friday morning. And that wasn't good. But I'm feeling pretty good being at 50% the way things are going. And actually the fact that with the Steelers being as crappy as they are, I have paid almost zero attention to professional football. Well,
your 50% ain't bad for not paying attention. Pay attention. Maybe you'll be at 70 the rest of the year. Who knows?
Modern players out. We're screwed.
Carney, you're down low at 42%. I know you're a lot better than that. You sent me picks prior to being on the show. You were on fire. Hopefully you can turn that around tonight.
I don't know if it was a show, but the first 4 weeks, I was up $6,000. It was unbelievable. I was literally doing 80%. It was insane. I will say for the record is sometimes I don't realize I'm having a great season. I forget that I have to make all the picks here, and there are just some games where I literally flip coins because I don't know what's going to happen. Well, but I have some locks. I'll let you know the locks. We're going to bounce back. Also, there's been a lot of late-minute changes of picks. So this week, I've really honed in. I'm ready to go. We're going to go over 50%. We're going to go 80% this week for me.
Love it. And Sanudo, what are you thinking here as you look over? You've been at the top the whole time.
Well, Pete, you're the one doing an incredible job, and I'm just glad we didn't pick last week because I would definitely be under 50% now.
Dave, I'm bringing you on camera for a second just because I want to fix something. I want to make sure I can do this I got to do it while I'm on camera. All right, I'm going to bring all the guys in next week on the screen right down the middle here. That way everybody can be there. All right, then we'll do that for next week. So, all right, let's get on to the picks. At least I know where I got to put it, Dave. Thank you for allowing me to do that with you. All right, let's talk about the Thursday night game. First game on the block.
That's what she said?
Yes, that's what she said. First game off the block. Let's talk about picking it up here. We got a lot of good friends in here. MJ was asking which team is more surprising, Jets, Giants, or Seattle. Answer to that, MJ, all three. All three are surprising. Never expected them. I'll give all three of them their props. Let's start with Sanudo. What are you thinking? Falcons on the road in a rainy and very wet Carolina tonight. -2.5 total, 41.5.
You know what? Vegas just does not like the Falcons, do they?
No.
I mean, we don't even know who Carolina's quarterback is. They're away, but come on, the Falcons are easy in this one. I'll give the points. Falcons.
Going to lay the points. He'll take the Falcons on the road. Dave, what are you thinking here?
Fun fact, for years, I thought that the claw on the Falcon logo was actually the head, and I wondered why that the Falcon had really big shoulders. And it took to me being about 29 to realize this. With that said, I'm going to lay the points and take the Falcons as well.
Okay. Taking the Falcons. Similar to MJ's question, which has been more shocking this season, Broncos stinking or Seattle thriving? Seattle thriving. To me, I expected the Broncos to struggle a little bit, not that much, but I never expected Geno Smith to step up the way he has. Gene, let's go to actually first to Carney. Atlanta -2.5. What are you thinking?
All right. So not only do I think the Panthers are going to cover, I think they're going to win outright. And the reason for that is I think the Falcons have too much of the hype behind them. Also, teams coming off a giant blowout, if you look back in history, come back to either win or cover the spread way more than half the time. So getting blown out last week was really good for them. I think it's going to be a surprise. I think the Falcon hype train, they're going to be feeling really good. Meanwhile, the Carolina Panthers are going to be so upset about how they just got embarrassed. I got the Panthers. And I think they're going to actually not only cover the +3, well, I always round up, but they're going to win outright.
Win outright. Gino, what do you got?
I think they do have a quarterback, Carolina. I think P.J. Walker is a solid quarterback. I don't know if he's going to be there forever, but I think he's a solid quarterback. Having said that, I still think Atlanta's having a season where a lot of people thought they could be a top 4 overall pick. I think that they're having a tremendous season with a lot of guys you wouldn't expect it from. I take Atlanta.
Okay. Gene's taking Atlanta. I'm also going to take Atlanta to cover myself. I think they're at the number there. I think it'll be an interesting game. Look to jump on that under. It's a heavy rainstorm there. Heavy rainstorm. I like that under on the touch. Just so you know, as you're watching, whether you're watching live or on the replay, my moderators will be dropping the links for everybody throughout the night into the chat so you can catch up with all these guys. We'll talk about their channels at the end of the night. If it's your first time here with me, please hit that subscribe, jump on my channel. We do this every week trying to keep up with the games. And if you ask a question that's specific, I'll give my answer. As the guys are not commenting, they will also, just like Sanudo did, respond back to you as well within the chat. So that's how we roll on the channel. Let's talk about the next Sunday game. Dave will be back in a second here. This is a 9:30 a.m. game, 9:30 in the morning, coming from Munich, Germany. I will be live with this game. I will be live with this game on this channel. So make sure you're coming over to watch. Seattle, surprising, doing really well. Tampa, surprising, not doing that great. And yet, Tampa is still favored by 3, total 44.5. We'll start with Carney. What are you thinking?
I think that the NFL hates the Seahawks, to be honest. So we can all tell the Bucs are not having the year anyone expected. They're falling apart. They don't look good. To me, they're unfocused. So to me, this would normally be an easy Seahawks pick. And I'm still going to take the Seahawks, but everything is working against them. Just so a fun fact that I found when I was doing some research, a West Coast team traveling to Europe has only won once versus an East Coast team traveling to Europe, and that was back in 2016 when the Giants beat the Rams. Because if you think about this, on their local time, the Seahawks are playing at 6:30 a.m. as a kickoff, so their warm-up and them getting ready would be like the middle of the night on their local time. And I know they fly there early, but this is just such a disadvantage for the Seahawks, and they're playing well. The Bucs are distracted. It's going to be close, but I'll take Seahawks getting points.
Okay, Seahawks getting points. Dave has lost his internet completely right now. He's got some weather. So we're going to pass by him for right now. He can give me his picks later. Let's go over to Gene. What are you thinking on this one, Gene?
Yeah, a lot of people will say, "Oh, looks like the Bucs might have found it because they had that late win last week." But let's face it, the Rams are pretty horrible too. They could barely score any points into the last minute. I don't think they found anything. I think that they just happened to score late. Seattle is blowing away all our expectations. I think we're realizing that, at least for me, I thought Pete Carroll was a decent coach. I never thought him as a great coach. I thought he had a good team, and he was just in the right place. I'm starting to think he might be a better coach than I ever thought. Seattle's been fantastic this year. Geno Smith, who's been a journeyman quarterback his whole career, has now found a place, and that says something. So I have Seattle going into Berlin and taking this one.
Nice. Seattle on 2.
It's also anybody who leaves the Jets becomes really good anywhere else. I mean, Nick Fogg, there's a whole history of great Jets leaving the organization and becoming great elsewhere. So, fair enough.
This is the last time I bring you two on together, especially putting you together right there on the screen together. I feel like I'm lopsided. Sanudo, what do you got?
Listen, if Pete Carroll was such a good coach, he would have run the ball with Skittles. Come on now. Anyways, I think Seattle's, you can't deny it. They're winning. I just don't know how they're doing it. And Tom Brady's losing, and to be honest with you, I don't know how he's doing it either. I'm still going to go with the Bucs. The Seahawks are just, the Seahawks are winning, but I just don't know how. So I'm going with the Bucs.
I'm gonna ride with MJ here. MJ says Geno Smith getting the dub. I'm gonna ride with MJ on this one myself and say Seattle's gonna take it. That right now puts Lone Wolf onto Sanudo right there. We always usually have a Lone Wolf soundbite. I didn't have one ready, so we'll go with this one. That'll be our Lone Wolf tonight. Freaks are coming out at night. Sanudo is gonna be our freak right there. Welcome into the Road Warrior. Road Warrior saying Hawks. What's up, Rob? Good to see you, buddy. It was great to meet him personally. I'm so excited the NFL is playing in Germany. Such a huge market. They're just hoping for a competitive game. I agree with you. Well said, Rob, there.
You guys hear about those ticket sales? It was incredible.
Yeah, it's good. I hope it keeps up. We'll see how that works out. All right, let's jump down here. Jaguars playing the Chiefs. By the way, I talked to Kelly right before the broadcast, and he said, man, he goes, my Chiefs are barely winning. Your Ravens, they are phenomenal. Looked so good the other night. I am definitely cheering for the Ravens. So that was nice of Kelly to call me and tell me that right before the stream there. So let's start with Gene on this one. Chiefs are at home. Jaguars are kind of indifferent. They're minus 5.5. The Chiefs are 9.5 at home. 9.5 at home. And we'll see what they can do. We'll start with Gene on this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know it's a really big spread, but let's face it: when a good team plays a bad team, I mean, how often do you see them still win by double digits? It's not like it's that far fetched, right? But I think we always get scared of seeing a spread of 9.5. But you know what? I think KC is going to easily cover. I could see them winning by about two or three touchdowns.
KC easily 2 or 3 touchdowns. Let's go over to Sanudo. Your call.
Chiefs are running on all cylinders. Just like that beer, they're popping. Everything's running right now. And you know what? We've seen earlier in the season 11, 12.5 point spreads. I'm going to go with KC. I'll give you 10.
Nice. Dave, let me ask you first on that Seattle-Tampa Bay game. Who were you thinking?
Can I take neither, and it's going to be a 0-0 tie?
Ooh, bold prediction. I like
No.
I know. I will. Hold on. I don't know where it's at. I'm in a blender here, Pete. I'm in a blender. Give me a sec. I'll take the 3 with Seattle.
Okay, taking the 3 with Seattle for Paul to document there. Let's talk about this one. Are you taking Kansas City to cover here? What are you thinking?
Yeah, Kansas City covers at home.
Kansas City covers at home. Are we going to get a clean sweep? Carney, what are the adventures in Kansas City going to be like?
No. I mean, I really thought you were onto something when you were saying, hey, this is the NFL this time of year, this season, unless there's major injuries, double-digit covers are just harder to do, and teams are figuring each other out. You might see it a little bit more often earlier in the season. To be honest, the Chiefs' defense isn't that great. They've given up 17 to 20 points in most of their games. The Jaguars can score against that terrible defense. Their defense is 22nd overall. I mean, people like the Chiefs because they win the flashy games in primetime. But to be honest, they're only 2-5 against the spread after the first few weeks. They have been a money pit. People who have been betting the Chiefs against the spread have lost 2 out of 5 times. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know. 10 points is just way too much. Give me the Jags with 10. And honestly, even if they don't do it during the game, they can get it in garbage time. That is not a good defense. And the Chiefs are just – they're a great team. But they win flashy games on primetime, and that's it.
I can't argue with any of that. I'm taking Jacksonville simply for I'm starting that quarterback in my quarterback's off week, and I need him to have a good week, and I need something to cheer for. So I'm just being honest. But I love the love the comments. Yes, Gene.
I just want to say one thing. Jacksonville could score 20 points, but the Chiefs could score 35, 40 points. So I think it's a wash as far as that. But I agree. Jaguars will score
Jacksonville
points.
Scoring 20 points very early. They're not going to happen. The Chiefs might score 30. Let's just say the Chiefs score 31. Jacksonville is 17. They score they score 1 garbage time touchdown. They're covering 10 points. 10 points is a lot of points in the NFL, and that's the 22nd ranked defense. They're not that great. Garbage time touchdown. Give me that covering garbage time. I'm okay with it.
Well, let it be the quarterback to NTN, and I'll be very happy and dancing.
Yeah, it's going to be NTN all game. Whoever got 8-10 is going to have a day.
All right, let's jump over to this one. Dave's going to start this one out for us. Cleveland Browns playing Miami. Beginning of the season, everybody said, oh, well, this is actually a big game for both teams. Browns, I believe, have a new quarterback coming back very shortly. They're trying to stay in the division. Miami's been doing everything they can to win the division, believe it or not. Dave, what do you think? Brownies on the road. They are short, getting 3.5 total, 49.5. Look for this game to be skyrocketing over. Dave, what are you thinking?
I believe that Tua Tagovailoa will attempt to do everything he can to lose this game, but they will still cover because he can't throw the ball more than 8 yards downfield.
Doesn't have to when he's got guys that can run 100 miles an hour.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But if you would have told me that the Dolphins were in this position, this time of the year, in that division, which has somehow turned out to be one of the best divisions in the AFC. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yep. Let's. All I need is Gesicki to at least get 1 touchdown.
Well, there you go. Dave's going fishing. Carney, what are you thinking?
This game it's going to be very close. So I don't know. I'm going Dolphins.
Real quick. Let me interrupt. Let me interrupt, Cardi. Hammer the under because this isn't going over.
Oh, Dave says go the other way. Carney, what do you think? You honest?
That's a fair assessment. Yeah, because I don't really have a big feeling on this game either way. I'm taking the Dolphins strictly because I think with that addition of Bradley Chubb and him learning the system and getting to become a part of more, a bigger part of that team, play bigger role. The Browns aren't great this year, and the Dolphins only have upside, so they're both kind of like here for me. But the Dolphins, if they click on a couple of plays, can put them over the top. So give me the Dolphins.
Okay, Gino, what are you thinking?
I couldn't agree with Carney more. Exactly what I think. I think both teams are. I think they're very. Browns, I think, are better than I thought they were going to be this year. I didn't think I'd expect much from them. In Miami, Carney's right. A couple of big plays, which they have the guys to do it with, and that score could get out of hand quick. So I'm taking the Dolphins.
Okay, Dolphins there. We got a clean sweep, Sanudo.
You know what? I like the Browns' run game against Miami. And I think they control the clock. I think they keep it close. Give me the Browns. I'll take the points.
He's going with the Browns. I'm going to take the Dolphins in home, but I'll tell you why Dave's wrong on the over. The one weakness for the Dolphins, I don't care if they've added Chubb or not, is the fact that they cannot stop a run, a good quality run. I think Cleveland puts up 20, 28 points on that run. I still think Miami puts up 35 to 38 with their passing attack because Cleveland's weakness is down the center of the field. High scoring game. I still think Miami covers. That'll give Sanudo Lone Wolf. Sanudo gets the Lone Wolf on that one. All right, we'll jump down here. This will be Carney's to start out. Houston Texans on the road. They've been up and down. I never know what team's going to show up over there. Playing the G-Men -4 at home, total of 41. Carney, what are you thinking on this one?
So I think maybe I'll be the lone wolf. I don't know, but I am from New York. Obviously, you can see I'm a Jets fan. I do support the Giants once the Jets are technically eliminated because I support New York. And my buddies from New York are going to hate me for saying this, but I think the New York Giants are kind of riding too much of a hype train. They're doing well, and I know they're not winning all the time, but everyone's predicting that they're going to make the playoffs, do very well. They're in the best division in football. The Texans aren't. We all thought the Texans were going to stink, and I think it's so hard for us to get that out of our brains because of the last few years, the offseason, and everything that's happened. But my Romeo, has really pulled them together. If you can, you know what? Give me them getting points because this game's a coin flip in my head. So if I can get 4 or 5 points or 4.5 or whatever the line your guys are getting are, I'll take more than a field goal with the Texans because I think it's going to be a close game. Again, this isn't like a lock play, but I like getting points when I don't know what's going to happen.
Love it. Gino, what are you thinking?
I kind of agree a lot with Carney. Although we differ on this. I hate the Giants. I actually hate the Giants more than the Patriots because you know what? I don't live near any Patriot fans for them to make me feel like the little brother. But I live near a ton of Giant fans, so I hate the Giants. But yeah, you know what? They've barely won every game that they won. They're and kudos to them, right? They've done a great job with it. But I feel like the Texans, I feel like they can have a little bit of swag. I think the Giants are going to underestimate them. I think they're believing the hype, which can be good or bad depending on how you believe in the hype. I don't think the Giants might lose, but I don't think they'll cover. So I'm going to take the Texans.
Texans as well. Sanudo, where are you at?
Listen, the only star for Houston doesn't even want to play for that team. They're in a spiral downhill, and you know the Giants look good. Give me the Giants. Jones will cover.
Jones will cover. Dave, what are you thinking?
Carney, that's spoken like a true Jets fan that is all aboard the hype train and throwing shade at the other New York team when they're aboard the hype train. Say who, Saquon, 3 TDs. Let's rock and roll.
I bet against the Jets every week. For the record. Let the record show.
Dave, who you got, Dave?
Oh, say who, Saquon, baby. Let's go.
Giants. Say who, Saquon. I am going to ride Saquon's leg for covering 4 too. I think that's the difference in the game. Running at home. Giants are legit. I think Texans are going to keep it close. Carney's right. The 4 is a definite taste right there, but I think it's a hook from Vegas, and I'm going to go the other way and say boom, they're going to roll it out.
By the way, the
yes.
sharp bettors have already bet it down to 3.5, so this might end up being a +3 situation by the time the game rolls around.
Yeah, it is rolling already. I saw that. Welcome into Sean Urban, member of our broadcasting team as well. Gene's going to start this one out. The Broncos. We finally got a picture right there of a Bronco that we know. It's Russ in the new uniform. I was able to find that today. Denver going into Tennessee. Tennessee, up and down team, laying 2 at home, 36.5. They don't think anybody's going to score. Gene, what do you think?
You know what? Tennessee is. I was shocked at the spread. I thought they'd be favored by more. They're home. They're playing well. They're running the ball well. I get it. They have a rookie quarterback, but guess what? You're not going to throw much against Denver. Denver is tremendous against the pass, so you're not going to throw much anyway. But you're going to basically feed the rock to King Henry, and I'm like I said, I'm surprised that it's this low of a spread. I got the Titans covering.
Titans cover at home. Sanudo, what are you thinking?
The Broncos are coming off a bye week. The Titans don't have a quarterback. You know what? I'm going to take the Broncos on this one. I think they come out with the win.
Interesting. David? David's talking.
We're good. I'm going to go with the one Alabama running back in the league that I actually trust that isn't named Najee Harris.
Okay. Titans.
Riding Henry. Let's rock.
Riding Henry.
Yeah.
What do you got there? Pete, what do you got on that last one there?
This is not a big game that was circled for me. Again, kind of a game. I don't care what happens either way. I do think the Broncos kind of have just decided they're in rebuilding mode. They looked terrible lately. Their offensive line is a lot of trouble. And also the Titans kind of have a great pass rush. So I think in the trenches, they're going to really struggle. I know the Titans aren't exciting here. I don't want to lay points. And I know they're coming off an overtime game, so they're a little exhausted. The Chiefs were their big game. But I just don't think Denver's that great. I think they just pull it out. And again, it's only a short. They only got to win by what, 2.5 or 3? I don't even know what your spread is.
Two on the spread here.
Oh, so 2. Definitely give me Titans -2. I think they win by at least a field goal. Broncos are already looking ahead.
I agree with Sean. I agree with you. I agree with Sean Urban, 100% Tennessee in the under. I really think that happens. I'm on Tennessee as well. So we got all the 3 guys and myself on Tennessee. That makes Lone Wolf there again. We got one. Got a lot of Lone Wolfing.
I'm either going to have a really good week or a really bad week.
It'll definitely be interesting.
This is how you hit 57% actually going against the grain.
There you go. I know my rights. I know my rights says Titans. MJ said Titans. Duke said Titans. Gregory said Titans. Rob, Mr. Disney M said Titans. We got a lot of Tennessee love on the pick here. All right, let's look at this Sunday afternoon game. Still a 1 o'clock game here. Minnesota going into Buffalo, potentially not having a quarterback. Line at -3.5. Buffalo at home. Total of 43.5, which I think is kind of low for my opinion. If Allen is there and healthy, we'll start it out. Let's start it back up at the top with Sanudo here. What do you got?
This one's rough because you don't know what's going to happen, who's going to play. The Vikings haven't really beaten anybody that's really good.
With Allen or without Allen, that would make the game so much easier.
No. This isn't. We're not voting for Babe Ruth's home run record. We're picking a game. Go ahead, Sanudo.
Vikings haven't beaten anybody really all that are good teams, but I think this is their coming out party. I think they show everybody that, hey, they are a Super Bowl contender. So give me the Vikings.
Gonna take the Vikings. Dave, what are you thinking?
I'm with Sanudo. Vikes roll, especially with Allen out.
Vikes roll. Let me go over to Ford Frick here, who wants to put an asterisk on things. What do you got, Carney?
Vikings!
Viking love. A lot of Viking love. Gene, you going to give me a sweep?
You know what? I think the Bills are still tough even without Allen. Case Keenum to Diggs. You remember the Minnesota Miracle, whatever it was. But you know what? This could be the Viking statement win of the year. I think the Vikings go in there. And the spread, I believe, was 6. I believe Carney might know. I think it was 6 to start the week. And it's just come down after the Allen news. I still think it's maybe too high. I should have swung the other way. I got the Vikings.
Got the Vikings. I got a clean sweep on the Vikings. Number started at 6.5, actually, early number 6.5, and it's fluctuated all the way down. I think it truly, at the end, by the time this lays out, I think it's going to be Minnesota 2.5 when it finally lays out and is done Sunday night. If Allen is definitely out on that one, so that's it.
Hey, Carney.
Dave,
What?
go.
Carney, was that a Johnny Drama reference?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Nice. Carney, go
Thank
ahead. You got
you.
something.
Oh no. I was just confirming what you said. You're dropping knowledge that is 100% correct.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's go over to this one. The Bears, the Lions. The Lions beat the Packers at home. They're now going on the road. They're going to be ready to fight. Fields has looked interesting lately. Chicago Bears -2.5, 48.5. We'll start it with Dave.
There's literally no way that Justin Fields plays as well as he did last week. That is his first name, right? It is Justin, correct?
Yes.
All right, cool. But it makes me want to throw up in my mouth to pick the Lions, especially away.
What?
Well, you're taking
Did
the
you not
Lions
want
on the road.
I'm going Lions on the road.
Lions on the road. Carney, what do you got?
Not only the Lions on the road. What's your spread you have, Matt? I got them at +3.
2.5.
All right, so whatever, 2.5. That's even easier. Whatever, I don't care. You can give me money line. I have the Lions destroying the Bears.
Ooh.
The Lions have made me so much money, except for that 1 week where they got the injury early. But everyone's been haters on the Lions. They have a talented squad. They have a good coaching staff. The front office, I love all the moves they're making. I mean, I've not always been a big Lions fan, but this season, I am all over Team Lions. Lions getting points? What are you crazy? You think Justin Fields is going to do that again? All right, good luck winning the lottery, $2 billion. Let's go.
All right. I love it. Gene, what are you thinking?
You know what? I love the love for the Lions. I think the Lions might be a quarterback away from having the best offense in the league. Great young offensive line, running game, younger, really just awesome young receivers. Look out for them going after Garoppolo. If they could get Garoppolo next year, they could be dangerous. But unfortunately, their defense is horrendous. I think, and listen, I don't know if we know what Fields is now. I don't know, but I do know this: the last 3 or 4 weeks when they started letting him run with his legs and making plays, and it's opened a lot of stuff up for him. I was not a Fields fan coming into the draft. It's the one quarterback I thought would be the worst out of all those first rounders. But you know what? He looks good the last month or so. So do the Bears. I'm going to take the Bears to cover by at least a field goal.
Bears to cover for Gene. What do you got there, Sanudo?
You know, they already talked about Detroit's offense, which is really good, but there's a lot of injuries there too. And Fields is just, you know, he's the last month he's been the MVP of the NFL. I think he still rolls. Give me the Bears at home.
Got the Bears there. Just a reminder to everybody coming in, if you're brand new to us, we got a lot of people jumping in and out, or you're watching the replay, subscribe to the channel tonight so you don't miss every week when we do this show. And also, all the guys' links for their channel, we'll talk more about them at the end. They've all been in the chat throughout the stream. You can click any one of them left to right. Escapades of PJJ with Justin Sanudo, Dave of Brandy, and Dave also of This and That. Over on the right there, it's all Jets over there, love. It's Adventures by Carney with Pete and Gene Fitzmagic. Again, all their links are there and also on the front of my channel. Flip McGovern says, "Duh, Bears." You know, I've been sitting here thinking, I agree with Carney. The magic behind Detroit and where it's going is special. But I'll tell you.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Hey, yo, it's me. It's DDP.
DDP on the Bears. I go for that because flat out I agree. Detroit, while on the upswing, and I love them, their defense is horrendous. I think Fields runs for a whole time. Me and Carney going back to back. We'll see how we do. That'll be an interesting discussion next week. Just a reminder, we're going to go live here in just a little bit on another stream with this game, Atlanta and Carolina. I just dropped the link in there. If you want to join us, great. I would love to have you. If not, if you're in the live chat, do me a favor. If you're having fun of any sort tonight, click that link and give me a like on that video. Help me out to get the likes up there so we can get a good share out. And also welcome into Dad Builds partner channel and Jeff Pagari joining in as well. Let's talk about this one. Dave's going to kick this one off for us. Saints at the Steelers. It's the battle of guys with small hands. Saints -1.5 going into Pittsburgh. David, is it run, Kamara run? What are you thinking?
It's I feel like a Jets fan because it pains me to hate the Steelers as much as I hate them. Right now, I think I need to give an update first of all because it's been a while, And everyone was talking absolute trash to me that the Steelers, there's no way they're only going to win 3 games this year. They're only going to win 3 games this year. The issue is that this might be one of them. So it pains me to say this, that I'm going to take the Steelers with a point at home.
Okay.
But I don't know how they're going to score. I don't know. The only thing that saves this is that Watt might be back, allegedly.
He's back. He is back.
Officially? Is it official? All right.
Based on all the practices this week, and all the beat reporters in Pittsburgh, I've only been waiting on the reports of T.J. Watt coming back, and according to everybody there, he's back, which is another reason why I'm gonna probably agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm taking the Steelers as their 3rd victory for the season, and they are going to lose out. They are going to have the 2nd draft pick, and they are going to flub it up and not take Stroud. And I'm going to be absolutely furious.
Okay. Well, you're taking the Steelers, dealing with Dave. It's always like a cat fight. Right there.
Meow.
Right there. Let's go over to Carney. What are you thinking, Carney, on your pick?
This is my 4th favorite game of the week. I honestly think, and then this is, again, 100% based on T.J. Watt healthy and playing all the snaps and playing in the game. All the reports are showing that he is. If I got T.J. Watt there, I got home field advantage. I still have Tomlin as my head coach. Give me the Steelers. I can't believe I'm saying that because I made fun of Steelers fans for the last, 8 weeks.
Tomlin hasn't shown himself as a solid coach in this. He is the biggest farce in the NFL.
Disagree.
He hasn't won a Super Bowl.
Super Bowls than contestants here on this panel.
Well,
exactly. We on Bill Cowher's dime.
Because we only have an hour, I'll have to let you guys continue your date later. Gene, what do you got?
Yeah, you know what? Pittsburgh, and I don't really know why. I just feel good about them this week. That's what other than I don't feel good about the Steelers. I feel good. I mean, I don't feel good about the Saints. I feel good about the Steelers. They're playing at home. They only got to win by 2 points. I'm taking the Steelers.
Okay. And Sudura, you got a clean sweep there on the Steelers?
I don't know what it is that Vegas doesn't like the Saints in this situation. I'm going to go with the Saints because the Steelers are just that bad. I mean, I don't
You're
know.
right.
Everybody,
You're so right.
everybody up here talked about how bad the Steelers were, then picked the Steelers. I didn't understand that.
Well, I'm gonna actually.
That's how bad the Saints are.
I'm gonna go crazy here and say this is the trap game of the week that everybody's gonna take 1.5 easy to cover by the Saints because they should, and I'm actually gonna do what I'm not supposed to do legally. I think do I have to hand over my manhood dog? I think I do because I'm taking the Steelers on this one. I think it's a trap game of myself. That gives him another lone wolf call out there right there. He is getting freaky over there down there in Virginia this week.
Good
Love
week
it.
for me.
Sunday, let's talk about this. Colts and the Raiders. Colts and the Raiders. Carney, you'll start me out on this one. 5.5 Raiders at home. Actually favored 42. What's going on? What do you think?
This is, if not my biggest bet, it will be my 2nd biggest bet, 1 or 2 of the week. Colts coming in our new head, Jeff Saturday. I don't know about you. I love this guy. He's like a Rex Ryan, but actually that played football for the team that he's coaching for. It's like, I just love him. He's just straightforward. He's football first. We see what's going on with the Lions organization when you have a player head coach that is there for everybody. I think this is way too many points. When I made my advanced spread, I thought this would be Colts +3. The fact that I'm getting, I have 6. I don't even know what your spread was.
5.5.
Yeah, so same thing. That's way too many points. The Raiders stink. If you look at every single breakdown, the Colts are actually, even though they stink too, are still kind of better or the same as the Raiders across the board. And now this is a brand new head coach. And if you look at teams that play under a new head coach after a coach being fired, they come out firing over the last 10 years. So I think there's just momentum. There's a new feeling in the building. This should have been a coin flip. Give me 5.5 with the Colts all day. Either my first or second biggest bet of the week.
There you go. Biggest bet of the week for Carney. Gene, what are you thinking?
I agree. I saw the spread and I'm like, how am I reading this right? How is it 5.5 points? Like the Raiders are a bad team, and so are the Colts right now, right? But the Raiders are imploding. Like you got Adams shoving cameramen after games. Like they're imploding. And you know what? The Colts, it's very true. After you get a new coach, there's always this like fire of wanting to play. But I think, and will he be the long-term solution as coach? Probably not. I don't know. I don't think anybody really does, right? But I think the players, because he's a young guy that's just recently out of the trenches, only a few years now. I think they're gonna rally around Jeff Saturday. Yeah, I think they're gonna rally around Jeff Saturday. Will it be long term? Will it be a short term burst, lightning in a bottle kind of thing? Probably, but I think it's enough to get by this week. I'm not saying they'll win, but they're gonna make it a really good game. And I be honest with you, I probably do take the money line on this one. Actually, I probably
taking the money line as well. Two Jets guys
Me
loving Colts. Sanudo, what are you thinking?
Look, the Raiders just put their second and third pass catcher on IR. The Colts just hired a center from 2 years ago who's never coached in any league, not just the NFL.
That's not true.
And,
he coached a high school team.
No, he sat on the bench on the high school team, actually.
He coached.
And the Colts running back, we don't even know the star running back's going to play. I know the Raiders imploded last week, but they're still better than the Colts, right? I don't know. I wouldn't bet this game if I had the option, but if we're gonna bet, I'm gonna take the Raiders.
Taking the Raiders. Dave, what do you got?
Jeff Saturday quarterbacked an offensive line with the Omaha King himself. I think he's gonna do just fine. Us centers are pretty darn solid and really good with football knowledge. With that said, I'm taking the Colts.
And what I'll say is I think that what Carney and what Dave said is perfect. And honestly, it's all legit, which tells me that I should absolutely take the Colts. And I'm doing exactly what I'm not doing. I'm going the other way and taking the Raiders because so many times I've fallen into the trap and said, something's happened. They're going to get behind them and win. And the next thing you know, my bookie's saying, thank you. I'm going to Omaha. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay on the Raiders this time myself. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Sunday on this one, let's talk about this one. Cowboys. Dem boys are going to Green Bay. That guy, I'm not sure if the Dalai Lama's coaching over at the Green Bay Packers or not. I don't know if they've dug up the corpse in Dallas of Tom Landry to figure out things in Dallas. They're all trying to figure it out. It's a mess in both places. Let's see what's going to happen here. Let's start with Gene. Cowboys getting to Green Bay, -4.5 at Lambeau, total of 43. What do you got?
Cowboys, much better team than the Packers, right? Having said that, I think the Cowboys might sleep on the Packers a little bit. Everyone looks at the Packers as they're done, and they very well might be. And I'm not saying they win, but I think they make it competitive enough to at least cover. So I'm going to take the Packers.
Packers and a cover for Gene. Sanudo, what do you got?
This week, Aaron Rodgers had to remind everybody that he's a two-time MVP or back-to-back MVP. When you're at that point in the season, you have to remind everybody that you were the MVP. You're not the MVP anymore. Give me the Cowboys.
You're going the Cowboys. Dave, which way are you going on yours end, sir?
Aaron Rodgers has been on too many podcasts talking about his ayahuasca journey, and he hasn't concentrated on football. With that said, I think ayahuasca Aaron is going to get back on track. Unfortunately, he has no one to throw the ball to that is any good. I'm still taking the 4.5. Packers cover.
Packers cover at home. And Carney, what do you got?
There's been no team that I've lost more money on in the last 3 years of betting football than the Packers. So with that in mind, also the Packers might have more injuries than rides that need maintenance at Walt Disney World. So because I don't want to lose money and because I like rides that run, I'm going to take the Cowboys begrudgingly.
There you go. Cowboys begrudgingly. This game to me is all about weapons. There's more of them coming out of the big giant star. I'm jumping on the Cowboys to go up there and cover, hoping that Pollard has a monster game just because I have him in fantasy and need him to do something. We'll see. Last Sunday afternoon game on the board, Cardinals and the Rams. Cardinals and the Rams. We'll start off with Gene on this one. What are you thinking, Gene?
Yeah, I don't know what to think. We talked about just before that thing we had with Stafford today that he's been pulled for concussion protocol. We don't even know if he's playing. Having said that, Arizona to me is god awful. I think even without Stafford playing, Los Angeles Rolls. So I'm going to take the Rams either way.
Rams either way for Gene. Let's go over to Sanudo.
Again, this is one of those games you don't want to bet either. I don't like either team in this. Usually I take the home team here, but LA really isn't home for anybody. Give me Arizona at least. I think the over is going to be covered. So I'll take Arizona.
I think the over is a good call too. I like that as well. Dave, what are you thinking?
So the Modern Warfare theory, Call of Duty theory with Kyler Murray didn't really pan out a couple weeks ago when Modern Warfare 2 dropped. The issue is that on Wednesday, Warzone 2.0, including DMZ, drops. So this is the last week you're going to actually be able to contact Kyler Murray at all. I'm taking the Cardinals.
Taking the Cardinals. Okay. Carney, what do you got?
I don't know how no one's talking about this, but did anyone watch Hard Knocks last night?
No.
They have brought back the in-season Hard Knocks, and it is the Arizona Cardinals. So we got to see a glimpse into like that culture, what's going on there, and everything that's happening. It did get me really pumped up for the Cardinals, but then they end the episode with Buda Baker getting injured, and he doesn't know if he can play this week. Is he playing? I don't know. Also, Stafford's in a concussion protocol. I don't know what to think, so I'm really confused. I'm going to take – I don't even know what spread you have because it's so far away up there, but I'm going to take whatever team is getting points.
That would be Arizona.
So, what is the spread?
Arizona's getting 1.5.
Yeah, just give me whatever team's getting points because this is a coin flip.
Okay. Tina Marie says she's taking the Rams, therefore I will take the Cardinals. I'm pretty sure that's a good betting process there on that one. Before I go to Sunday night and Monday night, let me remind everybody that's in here a couple things. One, we have a Discord for this channel. You can talk football, all sports over there in Discord. You can talk Disney as well, Marvel, Star Wars, just about everything. If one of my moderators could drop the link for the Discord so anybody could jump over there and join, it's free. Giant chat room for those over the age of 45 that are saying, what the heck is a Discord? It's a giant chat room, basically. So come check that out. Want to remind everybody before we pick the games that this weekend is a big weekend on my channel. I will be broadcasting live Sunday morning at 9:30, Seahawks and Buccaneers. 1 o'clock, I will be broadcasting Browns and Dolphins. Sunday night, I will be broadcasting Chargers and 49ers coming up. Also, on Thanksgiving Day, I'm excited because I will be doing 3 games Thanksgiving Day. 12:30, I will be doing Bills and the Lions, Giants and Cowboys at 4:30, and 8 o'clock at night, Vikings and the Patriots. So some big weeks coming up, big stuff coming up on the channel.
You are insane.
I keep myself busy.
You are insane.
Let's talk about this in here.
Hardest man on YouTube. If you guys are not subscribed with the bell on, with all notifications, and telling 1 million of your family and friends to watch this, it's crazy. Do you see how hard this man works? That's more than that's insane. That's insanity.
That's called a normal week for me, unfortunately. But I have to.
And then you do Disney stuff. It's crazy, Pete. It is crazy. You're a madman.
Well, Dave threatens me if I don't do 3 Disney streams, so I have to do it.
I do.
Chargers, let's start with this one. Sanudo, start us up. Sunday night football. Carrie will be singing. I'll be excited and singing and dancing myself. Chargers are going into the 49ers. 49ers laying 7, total 45.5. What do you think?
As a Chargers fan, I'm used to this this season where you start with high hopes and then slowly fade away. And that's happening here. Give me the 49ers, I hate to say it.
Niners to cover for Justin. Dave, what are you thinking?
Niners cover.
Well, that was simple and easy.
That's it. There's nothing else to say.
Nothing else to say. Carney, your thoughts?
What spread do you have?
7, laying 7, 45.5. Gregory saying take the under.
49ers are definitely the better team. They have way more talent. Also, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams did not practice yesterday. I don't know what happened today. I mean, everything in me is saying 49ers. The only thing is, there's 2 things. Justin Herbert, he never really loses by more than 7. If you look at his record, he doesn't get blown out, and there's garbage time. Also, Shanahan, when he is a spread of 7 or more, has been awful against the spread. He wins a lot of games, but he wins them by 6 or less. So you know what? Just for fun, I'm going to take the Chargers +7.
Nice, taking the points. Gene, what do you got?
This was my Super Bowl pick before the year before the Chargers really wet the bed. Right now, I think they're playing the waiting game for Sean Payton next year. I think Sean Payton's that's where I think he's going to end up next year. Him and that quarterback are going to be a fantastic combination. And you know what? Shout out to Joey D. I'm going to take the 49ers. I think I still think they're going to the Super Bowl. I think they're right in that spot where they're just going to start hitting that stride and going on a nice run. 49ers cover.
I think I'm going to deal with it. I'm on a toss on this. I think I agree with everything Carney said. I'm just going to lay wood to woodwork and say there's more health and more talent right now on the Niners and say that 6.5, they may float it and that they'll lay the cover on there. Monday Night Football game. Let's talk about this one for a second real quick. Washington Commanders. I finally got pictures for both Commanders and Eagles players now. Took me a little while to find them. Commanders are getting 10.5 points traveling to red-hot Philadelphia. Undefeated, I should say, still at this point. Total of 44. What do you guys got? Let's start with Carney on his night jumping in here for us.
Yeah, sure. So it is so hard, as we all know, to go undefeated in the NFL. But you know what? The Eagles, they still have a long way before that pressure, I think, kicks in. I think the biggest pressure is motivation. Like, are they really that motivated? But it is a divisional opponent, so I think that motivates them. I think staying undefeated is motivational enough. They're just better on all sides of the ball. I mean, their O-line is better. Their D-line is better. Their offense is better. Their defense is better. On paper, they're better everywhere. I just don't see a spot for the Commanders to really do anything. Everything I've been reading and trying to do research on this game, I'm not betting anything on it. And if I do, I'll wait for the spread to come down, hopefully on the Eagles or tease it. But I do think the Eagles win. I think they kind of blow them out. They've already beat them once. It's a divisional opponent. They want to stay undefeated. That's enough motivation for them to consider this a real football game. And that's really been the only critiques I've read otherwise against them dominating the Commanders this week.
Okay, gotcha. Let's go to Gene.
Yeah, listen, the Commanders, I think, stick a fork in them. I think we're seeing the last days of Riverboat Ron over there. And that under-over, first off, I'm taking the Eagles. I think they're going to smash them. But not only that, the under-over, it's 44. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles put up 44 alone. So I take the over for sure, and Eagles to cover.
Eagles to cover. Sanudo told me before the game, I like Philly because they're undefeated, which means they, like you, don't have any feet. And I'm like, that's not what undefeated means. So, what are you thinking on the game?
Wow.
Hey, you know what, Pete? Everything Carney was saying is absolutely true. But it feels like a trap game, doesn't it? It's a divisional game. Washington, have you been watching them? Because they've been actually playing well. They're keeping it in every game that they're in.
I agree.
Their quarterback from ODU is he's a spark plug. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to take the Commanders. I'm going to take the points. And you know what? I think they actually win this game.
Ooh, wow. Now that's a bold statement.
Well, that's crazy. Check this guy. Don't drive home.
Dave, what do you got on this one?
Well, I'm pissed at Sanudo because he stole my thunder. I too. Now let me back up because this is how I'm going to go. As someone who lives in Pennsylvania, in western and central Pennsylvania, there's one thing that I cannot handle, and that is Philadelphia sports fans. Because even when they're mediocre, they are a pain in the butt to deal with. And when their teams are doing well, they're insufferable. Absolutely insufferable. And nothing brings me more cheer than to see the Astros beat the Phillies in the Super Bowl of baseball, whatever they call that, because baseball's not a real sport and no one cares.
Yes,
Dave, I will time you out.
I know, and that's fine. I understand that. I understand that. But leading into this game, where Sanudo stole my thunder and said that it is a trap game, and that I would take plus 370, especially in a parlay, I would gladly do that.
Okay.
Now, am I smart? No. Is this a good pick? No. but I'm taking the Commandos or the whatever they're called, and I'm here for it. So rock and roll, fly Eagles fly right into a tree. See ya.
I'm just gonna stay with the Eagles just because they're putting up a ton of points. I don't think Washington can keep up with them. That's the only challenge. That's my only scarcity there. I like the divisional game. Usually these are closer games. I just think it's a different Eagles team here this week. Just a reminder that I will be live right after this. If you stay on this stream, it will take you right over to the other stream, everybody, so you don't have to go anywhere. Real quick, let's talk about it. Moderators, drop some links in the chat if you wouldn't mind. Dave, tell everybody what you got going.
Dis and That, obviously 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays over on D&D, Dis and That, youtube.com/Dis and That 4. Go check us out over there. It's myself, Steve, and Shep, and we talk about things. Sometimes it's Disney related, sometimes it's not. Most of the time it's not because Shep talks too much. But we do have a special episode this week on Wednesday doing something we haven't done on the channel before, so make sure you check that out too. With the release of Modern Warfare 2 and now Warzone 2 coming out, the Dave Daily on Twitch is back up and running. Nice. I will be streaming randomly throughout the week. So might go live tonight, might not, probably more so tomorrow night. Got to grind some guns, but Warzone 2 next Wednesday. If you like watching people game and you like watching people who are really, really bad at the game, but are relatively entertaining and obviously don't like Philadelphia sports, you can come watch me.
There you go. I love it. Gene, what do you got going?
Yeah, you know what? We're taking a little hiatus on Diz Nerdy Network, so we're actually going to be off the air for between now and December 5th. We're actually doing a huge relaunch December 5th with new shows, new everything. So yeah, we won't be on tonight. No Doug tonight. Everything's going to be put on hold, and then December 5th we're relaunching with a bunch of new stuff. So
nice.
So just look out for that for December 5th. And also, I just want to say Happy Veterans Day. Tomorrow's Veterans Day, so thank you to all the veterans and for what you guys do for us. Happy Veterans Day. And then shout out to the Jets. I had them on the 5.5. I had them on the over. They got me my 6 wins last week. So shout out to the Jets.
There you go. Sanudo, you're up.
Hey, I don't know what's going on, but I think Joy and Tina are doing movie trivia tonight on her channel, on Joy's channel. 10:30 maybe.
10:30.
I don't know.
10:30. And Carney, what do you have going?
We have a very busy week. If you guys missed it today, we were out in the Disney parks. We checked it out. All the aftermath of Nicole. It wasn't really that bad here in Orlando, but we walked around the entire boardwalk area, give you tours of the boardwalk, yacht, and beach club. Totally worth checking out. We have a bunch of other adventures. We just came back for a bunch of stuff. So you want to make sure you're stay tuned. And like I said, next week I can't be here because I will be live from the Very Merry Christmas Party. So when you're done hanging out with Pete, I'll be live over there all night. But make sure you're locked in right here. Pete McDevitt is the man. I love this channel. And again, thank you for having me. Go check out the channel. That's all.
Adventures by Carney. For all the links to all the guys, it's been dropped in the chat throughout the night. You can go to PeteMcDevittShow.com. There's an NFL show link. You go right down there. All the links for all the people, all the guys, the entire day is right there. You can find it. Stay here with this link. I'm going to do a simplified close right quick. This link's going to take you right to the game tonight. Go over there, hit me up with the like, hang out with me for a while. Let's watch some football. I'll be there in about 2 minutes. Good night, everybody. We'll see you.